What is up, everybody? It is time to make that video. Yes, that video covering Vahl. Vahl is insane. I love this character. I'm actually thinking about going on my main account and spinning my power course to get open orbs, see what I can pull for Vahl. Because it's going to come down to who has more stars on their Vahl, essentially. This character is redefining damage output, in my personal opinion. Setting a new standard for other characters to meet. Essentially, and I'll explain why here. Let's actually go ahead and jump into that. Before we do, definitely subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, become a YouTube partner, make tons of content covering on the game and such. Definitely like it up if you like these videos. I want to keep making these, kind of do my first impressions, essentially. I will make a reboot where it's character review and kind of a character breakdown, talking about all the ways I would upgrade them with ISOs and T4s and such, but I'm going to kind of do that similar thing here on my first impressions. So something I want to look at here is for characters. Bear in mind this is at maxed out everything, Stark Tech, Gear Tier 18. It's going to scale down though, right? Max skills, all that good stuff. I don't have an ISO class or nothing put on, so this could actually be a lot better, more than likely. But we're going off this base here. So power-wise in game, Vahl is insane. 337,000. She's third most power when maxed. Now power specifically doesn't really matter, but when we jump over here to health, Vahl is third overall in the game in health. And once you get below the top 5, it's really a significant amount of health, right? Up underneath Apocalypse and Super Scroll. Now this is the mind-blowing. Damage will be anybody. And can you see Nakia in second there? Super Scroll's down here a ways. Swarm's up there. You know what I'm saying? So there's, I don't know where Apocalypse is in 13th, but the damage, Vahl is first in damage. Like I said, she's going to set a new meta for damage output. And another thing you can look at over here is for speed. Vahl with speed is top 20, almost top 10 in speed, 127, which is huge. Now there are a lot of other characters with decent speed. It just means Vahl is going to be taking more turns than other people, which is really going to help because Vahl has a massive cooldown on the ultimate. You'll be lucky to get it off, but I'll break it down in the kit and such. Just that damage, though, that is gnarly, man. 65,000 armor is not a lot compared for a lot of other people, but 65,000 gets it into 12th, which I guess is a lot. My bad there. That is a lot of armor. And it's all about damage with Vahl, essentially. There's a lot of sustainability, survivability, as well as buffing allies, and it's not all about Bifrost. This character is standalone, plug and play. Where do you want to do some damage? You know what I'm saying? Vahl is amazing. That being said, let's go ahead and jump back over here and break down the kit and my personal recommendations for ISO and T4ing priority, which you can kind of expect from Vahl. Hero, Cosmic, Mystic, Brawler, Bifrost, Asgardian, which I love, but I don't know that I'll be plugging Vahl in on the Asgardian team personally. We'll see. Proud. So that's just like a proud trait for certain blitzes and stuff. Characters that have the proud trait used get you more points. The big thing here is the damage. Allied to Fledgling Phoenix Force and the last Asgardian of their universe, Vahl utilizes Asgardian relics to revive their allies and deal devastating blows to their enemies. This is phenomenal lore. I'm loving it. This is the 4th original character for Marvel Strike Force, and it's an amazing character. Just the concept, everything about Vahl is phenomenal. What Vahl stands for is quite wonderful, in the in the world, in real life, outside of Marvel Strike Force as well. Character abilities: Survivor's Flame. Look at this giant sword, right? And it looks busted or something, but still amazing. Final Fantasy VII sword. What it's going to do, it's going to attack primary and adjacent targets for 300% damage, flipping positive effect to heal block. So it don't matter what positive effect it's going to heal block, making your opponents not live that as long or be able to heal, right? Stay in the fight. Copy a positive effect excluding taunt or regeneration, so you're going to still defense up, offense up, stuff like that. You're going to copy it rather. If this character has defense up, clear all negative effects from self. So if you take defense up or copy it from an opponent, that's going to help itself, as well as, you're going to be doing this on striker attacks. You're going to be doing this on counter attacks and assists as well, depending on what kind of team you put them on. Now, in raids, obviously it's going to apply exposed and dark dimension as well, which is where this is a dark dimension catch-up mechanic. You put Vahl with Cersei Icarus, maybe throw in a Shang-Chi and a Kestrel, or, you know what I mean, a Cloak and Dagger, Cersei Icarus, Vahl, that type of comp is just going to be insane, right? Dark Dimension, this is going to catch you up through a lot of Dark Dimension nodes and such. Vahl is just insane. And we're going to dive into that, but When this character performs a counterattack or assist and has regeneration, gain 100% damage on that counterattack or assist. You could run Vahl with anybody that has the healer ISO, and they pump out a regeneration to the person with the lowest health. Now, ideally, if Vahl in incursion raids, obviously, is going to be with Teen Loki for the Bifrost, and Teen Loki pumps out regenerations, as we learned from our last video, Teen Loki's first impressions that I just put out. So that's just going to help with the Bifrost, but it could help elsewhere as well. And the whole ability here is plug and play, in my opinion, right? Obviously, it's not calling out to certain people. Now, or certain teams like the Bifrost. But Relic Hunt, the special attack is starting out full, and you're probably going to want to open up with this. Attack primary and adjacent targets for 500% damage, and that's just massive damage, especially with her multiplier from her damage stat. Insane, right? Flip one random positive effect to defense down. Flip an additional 2 positive effects to negative effects. And I'm assuming that's following the attack, right? But then it applies expose plus ability block for 2 turns to the primary target. So if your Vahl gets off before the opponents, that could change the course of battle, especially in a mirror match. Apply defense up to self and all allies. And then you go to the basic. If this character has defense up, it's going to clear all negative effects. So that cleanse is huge, and they are going to have defense up, right? I would assume. At least for other people. I don't know. It's only for 1 turn, so. In raids in Dark Dimension, apply ability block for 2 turns to adjacent targets. So again, Dark Dimension call out, that is massive. I can't wait to use Vahl. And we're all getting Vahl. So essentially just max Vahl and get them ready to do DD2 on your first run if you're a newer player. DD3, DD1. You will have to star Vahl up to be able to use in Dark Dimension 1, so maybe that ain't a big thing. But definitely for Dark Dimension 2, absolutely. This attack gains 50% extra damage and 200% extra focus against villain targets, which is phenomenal. Asgard's Last Stand, and this is where it gets crazy. And just bear with me because in the passive, it actually talks about gaining ability energy. So we're going to discuss how fast you can actually fill this up. It takes 6 turns by itself before you can even use it, which is nuts, right? In Dark Dimension, that wouldn't be so bad because the fights go on forever and ever, it seems like. So that is huge. But this is a percentage of health, which is why everybody liked Minerva. She stole a certain percentage of health. I don't know if it's 5, 10, 15%, but this is 25% health from all enemies and redistribute to all allies in Dark Dimension. Otherwise, it's just a still 10% health from all enemies and redistribute to any ally. So you don't have to be on the Bifrost team to use this, right? As well as in Dark Dimension, essentially if you're stuck on a node and you fight it 4 times, she's going to kill everybody after 4 turns of this, right? So this is just huge. Attack all enemies for 620% piercing. That's bypassing armor and getting right down to the nitty gritty, man. You know what I mean? Going to the bone. It's going to flip deflect, evade, and death proof on each enemy. Apply 2 deflect, 2 evade, and 2 death proof to self and all hero allies and all Bifrost. Now I like how it says all hero because that's plug and play, right? This is going to be huge. Revive 2 dead allies with 40% max health. So survivability on Vahl is through the roof, damage is through the roof, and essentially if your allies fall down, you can bring them back to life. I love this, and it's 2 of them. So Vahl, he, she, they, the character Vahl is phenomenal. Hands down, one of the best characters in the game. The best damage in the game. In Raids in Dark Dimension, you're going to revive 2 dead Bifrost allies with 40% max health. Apply trauma to all allies. And I believe trauma just makes it to where they can't remove negative effects on them. So this attack ignores defense up and is unavoidable and cannot be blocked. So it's gonna smack. When you do this attack, it's guaranteed smacking. Killing everything in sight, essentially. So on turn for the this is the passive skill Relic Keeper. All the relics, the 5 relics that Vahl is wearing, sorry for my titling of Vahl there. But on turn, heal self for 5% of max health, plus 5% of max health per non-summoned ally. So you're getting a 30% heal or a 25% heal no matter what. Straight up. You're going to have 4 allies. They're not going to be minions. You're going to get a 25% heal on turn. Every turn. So that's survivability again with having the 3rd highest health in the game. Vahl is not dying anytime soon. Now on Bifrost Ally Revive, apply this awesome stuff to that character, then heal that character by 25% of this character's max health. Which is cool. It's going to help with incursion raids, and if you're running running Vahl in the Bifrost raid or Bifrost team, it's just going to be that much better. So, I think that's cool that they bump it up a little bit, as well as make it where Vahl can be used anywhere, right? Being an original character has to be done. Gain 50% max health, gain 25% damage. And that's just insane stats. As well as in raids, Bifrost gets a big bump to damage and health as well. Now, enemies with exposed, this is very key and very important. So, try to understand this as best as possible, and as well as comment down below and let me know how ability energy works, because I don't believe it's just to a specific skill essentially, and I'll explain here. Once per turn, when an enemy with exposed is attacked, steal 5% health from the most injured enemy with exposed and redistribute to this character. Fill speed bar for this character by 10%, clear one negative effect from this character, and generate one ability energy. So once per turn. Is that once per Vahl's turn? Is that once per any of the characters on your side's turn? Will it be every time an ally of yours takes a turn too? Because that'd be every turn essentially. When an enemy with exposed is attacked, you're going to gain ability energy. If it's only once per turn for Vahl, which I'm assuming that's what they're doing, I would think, it's going to give an extra ability energy, making it 3 turns essentially. Because you're going to take a turn giving you one of these, and it's going to give you that ability energy when you attack somebody with exposed, giving you 2. And you're going to be pumping out the exposed for 2 turns on this opening move, and you're going to be hitting 3 people. So every time they get attacked, I'm assuming you're getting energy out the butt. I don't know how this exactly works. Definitely comment down below if you understand, because if you pump out those exposed on that special, and then your allies each take a turn hitting those exposed enemies, that ultimate's going to fill up instantly, and you're going to get it off the next turn. So I'm also going to be playing through the test drive campaign that we got going on for 40 days right now to see how it works and functions in that game mode as well. So this is just a first impressions essentially, but that's huge, and we need that ability energy. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to use the ultimate very often. In raids, once per turn, when an enemy with exposed is attacked, fill speed bar for all Bifrost allies and generate 1 ability energy for 4 random Bifrost allies. See, that's more clear. Once per turn when an enemy with exposed. So it's once per turn when an enemy with exposed is attacked. Once per turn. I don't know. I think that's anybody. So this, I'm assuming the ultimate's just going to fill up like crazy when your allies hit people with exposed. It's how I'm understanding it. Let me know if you know down below. I would assume that's how it's going to go. But now I want to just, after covering all that, I want to bump these skills down and see which ones we should T4 first. Obviously, you should T4 all of them, but T4s aren't unlimited. So if there's a few game changers here, we want to get those first. So on the A1, 60% damage to primary and adjacent targets. Not bad. Flip 1 positive effect to heal block to primary. So that's giving that big added effect of flipping that heal block. Attack primary and adjacent targets. Flip 1 positive effect to heal block. So to get that, you're going to need to upgrade. Let's see what the next one here is on the special. 100% more damage to primary and adjacent targets. That's 300% more damage put out. Apply ability block for 2 turns to primary target, which is needed. You absolutely need that. In raids and dark dimension, apply ability block to primary. That's massive. So this is definitely taking priority over the A1. The ultimate, let's see, 120% piercing to all enemies. You have to get this. So this is the first priority right here, as well as it's going to revive 2 allies. It adds that revive feature into the skill. Absolutely 100%. This is the what does that say? T4 confidence percent of users who max this ability. This is your priority right here, in my personal opinion, for the revive and the massive damage. Let's check the passive. When an enemy with exposed is attacked, oh my goodness. Okay, this is priority because you need that ability energy. I would say passive, ultimate, personally, because you're not going to get the ultimate off without the passive. So you need the passive T4, then the ultimate, then the special, and then you could go after your A1. And that's just straight up my personal opinion. That's what I'll be doing with my Vahl, T4ing the skills. I just want to sum it up here essentially with every time Vahl hits multiple opponents. Attack primary and adjacents. Attack primary and adjacents. Attack all enemies. So I'm thinking Raider right off the top with that massive damage, giving that crit rate chance as well as that crit damage boost, I think is just phenomenal. Raider's probably the way I'm thinking right off the top. There's already enough survivability here. Healer, Fortifier, I don't believe in for this character at all. Skirmisher, possibly for the focus to actually apply the exposed. I don't know how that'll function. I'm going to see how it is. So Skirmisher is a possibility. Applying the vulnerables as well as being able to apply these exposed and ability blocks. But I would think more likely for Raider for the damage, just massive damage from Vahl. And then Striker, copy one random positive effect except taunt and regeneration from each ally. You don't need focus for that, but if you're running Striker and you get multiple attacks, you're going to be copying tons and tons of positive effects. If this character has defense up, clear all negative effects from self. So Striker is a solid choice here. And then Raider would be my second guess. Depending on what you're doing in your team, obviously Striker would be phenomenal just for that extra damage. But Vahl's already pumping out enough damage. So, some people like to stack the best stat. I will go over here and check out ISOs. So, analysis. ISO confidence. Vahl. Striker 91%, Raider 4.8. So Striker's the heavy dominant for this, getting those positive effects from the allies, and applying defense up to everybody. So Striker's probably the way you should go, just to be safe. But I might do a little personal testing with other ones depending on the team, and you can use multiple ones depending on which teams you're running them in. But to be safe, just go with Striker if you're free to play, and you won't go wrong essentially from this. T4 trends. Where's my character? I've never used this part of the game mode, so this is new to me. Vahl T4 percentage, users, upgrades. So this is the 31st one you should do is Asgard's Last Stand, the ultimate. The passive's 33, which I think you should do the passive before the ultimate, in my personal opinion. And then the special, and then 46th overall T4 out of every character. I'm assuming that's what this number over here means. Yeah, ranking overall T4s in the game. Now, I don't know how they rank overall against other people's T4s, but maxing Vahl is going to be my priority for ability. So I'm going to go passive, ultimate, special, basic. Those would probably be my first 4 T4s in this game, personally. All right, that's all I got, definitely. Comment down below what you think. How excited are you to be getting a free Vahl? And when I say free, is everybody's going to get it if you just play the game. This upcoming month's event, they're giving us 45 shards for Vahl. Everybody gets Vahl. And that's why I think the star level on Vahl is going to play a crucial part. Because a 3-star Vahl is going to be able to beat a 2-star Vahl more often than not. And then a 4-star Vahl is definitely going to dominate a 2-star, in my personal opinion, I would think. And then it just has you go up in star levels, right? So that's why I'm debating. I might go and open some orbs for Vahl and see if we can get a 180 shard drop. Just because Vahl is that powerful, right? Alright, comment down below your thoughts, opinions. I always love reading comments. Vahl is here, baby. Vahl is here. Like and subscribe. I'll catch you all on the next one.